What makes you vulnerable? What makes you beautiful? What makes you vulnerable? Makes you beautiful. I understand now that the vulnerability I have always felt is the greatest strength a person can have. You can't experience life without feeling life. What I have learned is that being vulnerable is somebody you love is not awareness, it's a strength. It's not a weakness, it's a strength. Love comes when manipulation stops, when you think more about the other person than about his or her reactions to you. When you dare to reveal yourself fully, when you dare to be vulnerable. We are never so vulnerable than when we must trust someone. But paradoxically, if we cannot trust, neither can we find love or joy. To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything, and your heart will certainly be wrung and possibly broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give your heart to the one, not even to an animal. Wrap it carefully round your hobbies and little luxuries. Avoid all entanglements. Lock it up safe in a casket or a coffin of your selfishness. But in that cast, safe, dark, motionless, airless, it will change. It will not be broken. It will become unbreakable, impenetrable, irredeemable. Ah, so sweet. It has always seemed strange to me that the things we admire in men, kindness and generosity, openness, honesty, understanding, and a feeling, are the concomitants of failure in our system. And those traits we detest: sharpness, greed, acquisitiveness, meanness, egoism, and self-interest are the traits of success. And while men admire the quality of the first, they love to produce the produce of the second. Vulnerability is the only authentic state. Being vulnerable means being open for wounding, but also for pleasure. Being open to the wounds of life means also being open to the bounty and beauty. Don't mask or deny your vulnerability. It is your greatest asset. Be vulnerable, quick, and shake in your boots with it, the new goodness that is coming to you in the form of people. Situations and the things can only come to you when you're vulnerable. That is open. Love is not love until love's vulnerable. The time your game is most vulnerable is when you are ahead, never let up. Aha. The strongest love is the love that can demonstrate its fragility. With each passage of human growth, we must shed a protective structure like a hardy crustacean. We are left exposed and vulnerable, but also yeasty and embryonic, again capable of stretching in ways we didn't know before. To share your weakness is to make yourself vulnerable. To make yourself vulnerable is to show your strength. We all need somebody to talk to. It would be good if we talked, not just pitter patter, but really talk. We shouldn't be so afraid, because most people really like this contact that you show you are vulnerable, makes them free to be vulnerable. Owing our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it. Embracing our vulnerabilities is risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on our love and belonging and joy. The experiences that make us the most vulnerable, only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our life. Security is mostly a superstition. It does not exist in nature, nor do the children of the man as a whole experience it. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Beautiful. There can be no vulnerability without risk. There can be no community without vulnerability. There can be no peace and ultimately no life without community. Vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. In the beginning, people think vulnerability will make you weak, but it does the opposite. It shows you're strong enough to care. In all hearts were open and all desires known as they would be if people showed their souls. How many gaping and singing, clenched fists, knotted brows, broad grins, and red eyes should we see in the marketplace. People who know me know I'm strong, but I'm vulnerable. Don't keep your heart safe, be vulnerable. Beautiful. Inspire self-compassion. Yes. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. You can search throughout the entire universe for someone who's more deserving of your love and affection than you are yourself, and that person is not to be found anywhere. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. Lack of forgiveness causes almost all of us self-sabotaging behavior. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. You will not be able to love others if you have no compassion for yourself, and you are not able to develop compassion for others. Self-acceptance is my refusal to be in adversarial relationship to myself. The facts that when we make the other person suffer, he will strive to find relief by making you suffer more. The result is an escalation of suffering on both sides. The second quality of nature spirituality is kindness. It is based on a fundamental notion of self-acceptance. The art of being yourself at your best is the art of unfolding yourself into the personality you want to be. Learn to love yourself, be gentle with yourself, to forgive yourself of all. Only as we have the right attitude towards ourselves can we have the right attitude towards others. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. When you are compassionate with yourself, you trust in your soul, which you let guide your life. Your soul knows the geography of your destiny better than you do. There's only one success, to spend your life in your own way. It's not your job to like me, it's mine. To be nobody but yourself in the world, which is doing its best night and day to make you everybody else, means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight and never stop fighting. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps that is because he hears a different drummer. Let him keep step to the music which he hears, however measured and however far away. Accept everything about yourself. I mean everything. You are you, and that is the beginning and the end. No apologize, no regrets. I found in my research that the biggest reason people are more self-compassionate is that they are afraid they'll become self-indulgent. They believe self-criticism is what keeps them in line. Most people have gotten it wrong because our culture says being hard on yourself is the way to be. The degree to which you love yourself will determine your ability to love the other person, who will be the reflecting back to you many of your own personality traits and qualities. Love brings you face to face with yourself. It's impossible to love another if you cannot love yourself. Loving yourself is healing the world. Aha, so pretty. La la la. I love me, I love me, I love me, love me, love me. Wow, self-discovery. Let's discover ourselves, Lord. I'm so excited. Aren't we all? Look, I'm really not interested in showing you my face, but how else? I suppose the lips, you can do the lip reading and the dumb and deaf people. But the other day I was thinking that I want to read out for blind people and I want to read for dumb and deaf people, through the lip reading and all this. And yet I'm glad that we are doing the self-compassionate and love for yourself, self-discovery, inspirations, because I'm like, when I'm reading all this, I'm so much enjoying myself that I forget I'm going fast. And so do I slow down to make you all happy, or do I make me happy and you will rise to my happiness, the joy and gladness? Gracious God, that we are all one. So just pick yourself up, come to my level, so we enjoy together. Okay, if I stoop down low, I don't know if I can lift you up, but I can truly raise you up. Fine, come along. Fine. Love you all. Truly, truly. Of course, little bit adjustments we will do for sure, but individuality you cannot give up on. Want all of us to become individuals and rise in ourselves. Truly beautiful. And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than a risk it took to blossom. When you make a world tolerable for yourself, you make a world tolerable for others. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. There are only two kinds of freedom in the world: the freedom of the rich and powerful, and the freedom of the artist and the monk who renounces possessions. Life is a process of becoming a combination of states we have to go through, where people fall in that they wish to elect a state and remain in it. This is a kind of death. The personal life, deeply lived, always expands into truth beyond itself. What I cannot love, I overlook. Is that really friendship? Each friend represents a worldliness, a world not born until they arrive, and it is only by this meeting that a new world is born. We don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. I postpone death by living, by suffering, by error, by risking, by giving, by losing. Life is truly known only to those who suffer, lose, endure adversity, and stumble from a defeat to defeat. People living deeply have no fear of death. There are very few human beings who receive the truth completely and staggering by the instant illumination. Most of them acquire it fragment by fragment on a small scale of the successful development, cellularly, like a laborious mosaic. The dream was always running ahead of me. To catch up, to live for a moment in unison with it, that was a miracle. My ideas usually come not at my desk writing, but in the midst of living. Truth is something which can't be told in a few words. Those who simplify the universe only reduce the expansion of its meaning. I'm only responsible for my own heart. You offered yours up for the smashing, my darling. Only a fool would give out such a vital organ. You don't find love, it finds you. It's got a little bit to do with destiny, fate, and what's written in the stars. The secret of joy is the mastery of pain. I wanted to remember in order to be able to return. Beautiful. Lotso. Bye. The Taw that can be told is not an eternal Taw. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way the things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. They only create sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they lie. Nature doesn't not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Health is the greatest possession. Contentment is the greatest treasure. Confidence is the greatest friend. Non-being is the greatest joy. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, we did it ourselves. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they lie. A good traveler has no fixed plan, is not intent on arriving. Truthful words are not beautiful. Beautiful words are not truthful. Good words are not persuasive. Persuasive words are not kind. Indwelling, live close to the ground, and they can keep to the simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. In governing, don't try to control. In work, do what you enjoy. In family life, be completely present. At the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are and you know what you want. By letting it go, it all gets done. The world is won by those who let it go. But when you try and try, the world is beyond the winning. Mastering others is the strength. Mastering yourself is the power. I have just 3 things to teach: simplicity, patience, and compassion. These 3 are your greatest treasure. If you realize that all things change, there is nothing that you will try to hold on to. If you are not afraid of dying, there is nothing you cannot achieve. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. The words of truth are always paradoxical. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is the true power. Yes. Gratitude. If you need some inspiration, inspire gratitude. Cultivate the habit of being grateful for your every good thing that comes to you and to give thanks continuously, because all the things that have contributed to your advancement. You should include all things in your gratitude. Let gratitude be the pillow upon which you kneel as, say, your nightly prayers, and let the faith be the bridge you build to overcome evil and welcome good. Acknowledge the good that you already have in your life is the foundation of all abundance. If the only prayer you said in the whole life was thank you, that would be enough. When you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. Silent gratitude isn't much like used to anyone. There's no such thing as attitude unexpressed. If it is unexpressed, it is plain old-fashioned ingratitude. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by the spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with the deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flame within us. We must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, the other as though everything is a miracle. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues but the parent of all others. A person, however learned and qualified in his life's work, in whom gratitude is absent, is devoid of that beauty of character which makes personality fracturing. Expressing gratitude is a natural state of being and reminds us that we are all connected. We can be thankful to a friend for a few acres or a little money, and yet for the freedom and command of the whole earth and for the great benefits of our being, our life, health, and reason, we look upon ourselves as under no obligation. When we give carefully and accept gratefully, everyone is blessed. God gave you the gift of 86,400 seconds today. Have you used one to say thank you? So pretty, no? We are really enjoying it. Personal growth. Very much interested in it. Because the sole power of life is to enjoy, live in joy. And for that, we need to become better and better and better day by day. A scholar who cherishes the love of comfort is not fit to be Demeter's scholar. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. In this world, you are either growing or you are dying. So get in motion and grow. Every moment of one's existence, one is growing into more and or retreating into less. Progress always involves rest. You can't progress to second best and also keep your foot on first. We can't become what we want to be by remaining what we are. A ship in the harbor is safe, but that's not what the ship is built for. If you put yourself in a position where you have to stretch outside your comfort zone, then you are forced to expand your consciousness. To the degree we are not living our dreams, our comfort zone has more control of us than we have ourselves. A dream is more creative vision for your life. In the future, you must break out of your current comfort zone and become comfortable with the unfamiliar and the unknown. Move out of your comfort zone. You can only grow if you are willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new. One can choose to go back toward safety or forward toward growth. Growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again. It's not because things are difficult that we do not care. It's because we do not dare that they are difficult. Every moment of one's existence is a growing into more or retreating into less. Life loses its meaning when we get stuck up in comfort zone. If you remain in your comfort zone, you will not go any further. Love will ask you to step out of your comfort zone, to sacrifice and to compromise. If you can't agree to those, love won't agree with you. If we are growing, we are always going to be out of our comfort zone. The only source of knowledge is experience. All the concepts about stepping out of your comfort zone means nothing until you decide that your essential purpose, vision and goals are more important than your self-imposed limitations. So nice. Leadership. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, and do more, become more, you are a leader. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, we did it ourselves. It's better to lead from behind and put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory. When nice things occur, you take the front line. When there is danger, then people will appreciate your leadership. The challenge of leadership is to be strong but not rude, be kind but not weak, be bold but not bully, be thoughtful but not lazy, be humble but not timid, be proud but not arrogant, have humor but without folly. The supreme quality for leadership is unquestionably integrity. Without it, no real success is possible, no matter whether it is on a section, gang, a football field, or an army, or in the office. The leader who works most effectively, it seems to me, never say, and that's not because they have trained themselves not to say. They don't think they think we, they think team. They understand their job is to make the team function. They accept responsibility and don't sidestep it, but we gets the credit. This is what creates trust that enables you to get the task done. Leaders aren't bought, they are made just like anything else, though through hard work, and that's the price you'll have to pay to achieve that goal or any goal. A great person attracts great people and knows how to hold them together. A leader is someone who demonstrates what's possible. The hero is the one who kindles a great light in the world, who sets the blessing torches in the dark streets of life for men to see by. And the saint is the man who walks through the dark paths of the world himself to a light. I will speak ill of no man and speak all the good I know of everybody. Leadership and learning are indispensable of each other. A good leader inspires others with confidence in him. A great leader inspires them with confidence in themselves. Leader is a two-way street. Loyalty up and loyalty down. Respect for one's superiors, care for one's crew. The price of greatness is responsibility. When an effective leader is finished with his work, the people will say it happened naturally. A leader leads by example, not by force. Become the kind of the leader that people will follow voluntarily, even if you had no title or position. Example is not the main thing. It is influencing others. It is the only thing. The older I get, the less I listen to what people say, and the more I look at what they do. Beautiful. Yeah. Sri Nakasam Maharaj. It is always the false that makes you suffer, the false desires and fears, the false values and ideas, the false relationships between people abandon the false, and you are free of pain. Truth makes happy, truth liberates. A quiet mind is all you need. All else will happen rightly once your mind is quiet. As the sun is rising, makes the world active, so does the self-awareness affect changes in the mind. In the light of a calm and steady self-awareness, inner energies wake up or work miracles without effort on your part. There is nothing to practice. You know yourself, be yourself, to be yourself. Stop imagining yourself to be this or that. Just being. Let your true nature emerge. Don't disturb your mind with seeking. I find that somehow by shifting the focus of attention, I become the very thing I look at and experience, the kind of consciousness it has. I become the inner witness of the thing I call this capacity of entering the focal point of consciousness. Love. You may give it any name you like. Love says, I'm everything. Wisdom says, I'm nothing. Between the two, my life flows. Since at any point of time and space, I can be both the subject and the object of experience, I express it by saying that I'm both, and neither the beyond both, neither and beyond both. In reality, there are no others, and by helping yourself, you help everybody else. When you demand nothing of the world, not of God, when you want nothing, seek nothing, expect nothing, then the supreme state will come to you uninvited, unexpected, past and future, and the mind only and now. All that Guru can tell you is, my dear sir, you are quite mistaken about yourself. You are not the person you take yourself to be. You cannot transcend what you don't know. To go beyond yourself, you must know yourself. The desire for truth is the highest of all desires, yet it is still a desire. All desires must be given up for the real to be. When all searches ceases, it is the supreme stain. If you could only keep quite clear of memories and expectations, you would be able to discern the beautiful pattern of events. It's your restlessness that causes chores. Once you realize that the road is a goal and that you're always on the road not to reach a goal, but to enjoy its beauty and its wisdom. Life ceases to be a task of and becomes natural and simple in itself and ecstasy. You will receive everything you need when you stop asking for what you do not need. When I realize I'm nothing, that's wisdom, and when I realize I'm everything, that's love, and between the two, the life flows. The consciousness in you and the consciousness in me apparently do really one seek unity, and that is love. We love variety in the play of pain and pleasure. We are fascinated by contrast, but for this we need the opposites and the apparent separation. We enjoy them for a time and then get tired and crave for a peace and silence of pure being. Whatever comes and goes is not really reality. See the events as event only. Then you're vulnerable to reality, no longer armored against it as you were when you gave reality to events and experiences. There's no such thing as an expression of reality. You're introducing a duality where there is none, only reality is. There is nothing else, just what events happening, knowing then to be unreal. Learn to look without imagination, to listen without distortion. That is all. Stop attributing names and shapes to the essentially nameless and formless. Realize that every mode of perception is subjective, that what is seen or heard, touched or smelled, felt or thought, expected or imagined is in the mind and not in reality, and you will experience peace and freedom from fear. Playing with various approaches may be due to resistance to going with it, and the fear of having to abandon the illusion of being some but thing or somebody in a particular, or all the affections. The love of oneself comes first. Light and love are impersonal. When you do not think yourself to be this or that, all conflict ceases. Any attempt to do something about your problems is bound to fail, for what is caused by desire can be undone only in the freedom from desire. You cannot be rid of problems without abandoning illusions. The real does not die. The unreal never lived. Set your mind right and all will be right. When you know that the world is one, that humanity is one, you will act accordingly. But first of all, you must attend to the way you feel, think and live. Unless there is order in yourself, there can be no order in the world. Wayne Dyer is a great writer. Change the way you look at the things, and the things you look will change. Paradigm shift. Change your thoughts, change your life. Living the wisdom of the Tao, the power of intention. Learning to create your world your way, and wishes fulfilled. How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. When you squeeze an orange juice comes out because that's what's inside. When you are squeezed, what comes out is what is inside. You cannot be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. Your reputation is the hands of others. That's what the reputation is. You can't control that. The only thing you can control is your character. With everything that has happened to you, you can either feel sorry for yourself or treat what has happened as a gift. Everything is either an opportunity to grow or an obstacle to keep you from growing. You get to choose. You're not stuck where you are unless you decide to be. Circumstances do not make a man, they reveal them. When you judge another, you do not define them, you define yourself. Everything you are against weakens you. Everything you are for empowers you. You cannot always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside. Procrastination is one of the most common and deadliest of diseases, and its toll on success and happiness is heavy. Stop acting as if life is a rehearsal. Live this day as if it were your last. The past is over and gone. The future is not guaranteed. Go for it now. The future is promised to no one. Judgment prevents us from seeing the good that lies beyond appearances. There is no scarcity of opportunity to make a living at what you love. There is only scarcity of resolve to make it happen. When I chased after money, I never had enough. When I got my life on purpose and focused on giving of myself and everything that arrived into my life, that I was prosperous. The fact that you're willing to say, I do not understand, and it is fine, is the greatest understanding you could exhibit. You leave old habits behind by starting out with the thought, I release the need for this in my life. Your children will see that you are all about by what you live rather than what you say. Conflict cannot survive without your participation. Peace can be a lens through which you see the world, be it livid, radiated out. Peace is just an inside job. Letting go. Let go, let God. By letting it go on, all gets done. The world is won by those who let it go. But when you try and try, the world is beyond the winning. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Tension is who you think you should be. Relaxation is who you are. Letting go doesn't mean that you don't care about someone else anymore. It's just realizing that the only person you really have control over is yourself. You must be willing to let go of the life we have planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. Some people believe holding on and hanging in there are signs of great strength. However, there are times when it takes much more strength to know when to let go and then do it. When you become good at the art of letting go sufferings go, then you'll come to realize that you are dragging around without you, and for that no one else other than you was responsible. In the process of letting go, you will lose many things from the past, but you will find yourself. Letting go helps you to live in a more peaceful state of mind and helps to restore our balance. It allows others to be responsible for themselves and for us to take our hands off situations that do not belong to us. This frees us from unnecessary stress. Suffering is not holding you, you're holding suffering. When you become good at the art of letting sufferings go, then you will come to realize how unnecessary it was for you to drag those burdens around with you. You will see that no one else other than you was responsible. The truth is that existence wants your life to become a festival. Open your arms to change, but don't let go of your values. Let go of your attachment to being right, and suddenly your mind is more open. Will this matter a year from now? Will this matter a year from now? The greatest loss of the time is delay and expectation, which depends upon the future. We let go of the present when we have in our power and look forward to that, which depends upon chance, and so relinquishes certainty for an uncertainty. To let go is to release the images and emotions, the grudges and the fears, the clinging and the disappointments of the past that bind our spirit. We need to learn to let go as easily as the grasp. We grasp and we find our hands full of our minds empty. Courage is the power to let go of the familiar. You cannot let go of anything if you cannot notice that you're holding to it. Admitting your weakness and watch them morph into a greater strength. To look for something as though we had never seen it before requires great courage. I don't let go of concepts, I meet them with understanding. Then they let go of me. Love. You're full of love. My God, love, lack of sorrow. Love begins at home, and it is not how much we do, but how much love we put in that action. Do all things with love. Being deeply loved with someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, but only love can do that. I have found the paradox that if you love only until it hurts, there can be no more hurt, only more love. Mother Teresa. The moment you have in your heart the extraordinary thing for love and feel the depth of delight, the ecstasy of it, you will discover for you the world is transformed. I'm selfish, impatient, and a little insecure. I make mistakes. I'm out of control, at times hard to handle. But if you can't handle me at my worst, then you sure as hell don't deserve me at my best. Love is always bestowed as a gift, freely, willingly, and without expectation. You don't love to be loved. We love to love. Love does not dominate, it cultivates. Love is the flower for which love is the honey. Where there is love, there is life. Love is life, and if you miss love, you miss life. Love is a flower you have got to let grow. Love yourself first, and everything else falls into line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world. You love yourself from the beginning of a lifelong romance. The hunger of love is much more difficult to remove than the hunger of bread. You know you are in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams. A friend is someone who knows all about you and still loves you. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do great things with great love. So I love you because the entire universe conspired to help me find you. Wow. Peace. Peace. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. The true value of human being can be found in the degree to which he has a separation from the self. An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. It is my conviction that there is no way to peace. Peace is the way. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one. Peace begins with a smile. You find peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at the deepest level. You cannot find peace by avoiding life. Nobody can hurt me without my permission. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Whenever you are confronted with an opponent, conquer him with love. World peace must develop from inner peace. Peace is not just in the absence of the violence. Peace is, I think, the manifestation of human compassion. Letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. It is our heart. We still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, or possession. We cannot be free. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Until he extends the circle of his compassion to all living things, man will not himself find peace. The practice of forgiveness is our first most important contribution to the healing of the world. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. To understand the immeasurable, the mind must be extraordinary, quite still. When we feel love and kindness towards others, this only makes us feel loved and cared for, but it helps also to develop inner happiness and peace. Wow. Personal growth. A scholar who cherishes the love of comfort is not fit to be deemed a scholar. Life begins at the end of comfort zone. In this world, you are either growing or you are dying. Get in the motion and grow. Mind. The mind is an interesting tool and something I've contemplated on many a times. Self-compassion and nurture your well-being. All problems are illusions of the mind. The mind in its own place and in itself can make a heaven of hell and hell of heaven. You may die 100 deaths without a break in the mental turmoil, or you may keep your body and die only in the mind. The death of the mind is the birth of wisdom. I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet. Just as the dog loves to chew bones, the mind loves to get its teeth into problems. That's why it does crossword puzzles and builds atom bombs. The mind can calculate what the spirit yearns, and the heart knows what the heart knows. The snake which cannot cast its skin has to die, as well as the minds which are prevented from changing their opinions. They cease to be mine. Knowing yourself is deeply rooted in being instead of lost in your mind. Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. All the things that truly matter, beauty, love, creativity, joy, and inner peace, arise from beyond the mind. The mind can go in 1,000 directions, but on this beautiful path, I walk in peace. With each step, the wind blows. With each step, and a flower blooms. To understand the immeasurable, the mind must be extraordinary, quite still. Not thinking on anything in Zen. Once you know this, walking, talking, lying down, everything is to do is Zen. Not till your thoughts cease all your balancing here, branching here and there. Not till you abandon all thoughts of seeking of something. Not till your mind is motionless as without stones, you will be on the right road to the gate. Life isn't as serious as the mind makes it out to be. The secret of health for both the mind and the body is not to mourn for the past, not to worry about the future, but to live the present moment wisely and earnestly. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation but thought about it. Be aware of the thoughts you are thinking, separated from the situation, which is always neutral. It is as it is. People are just as happy as they make up their minds to be. It is a cluttered desk is a sign of cluttered mind. Of what then is an empty desk? A sign. Self-care. Do something every day that is loving towards your body and give you the opportunity to enjoy the sensations of your body. There are 2 days I drop words of comfort on myself, like falling leaves, and remember that it is enough to be taken care of all by myself. There is only one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving, and that's your own self. Your breathing is your greatest friend, written to all your troubles, and you will find comfort and guidance. The perfect man of all looked after himself first before looked to help others. How do you define taking care of yourself? Create a new self-care practice today. Observe your comfort level when it comes to being good to yourself. Discomfort is a wise teacher. My mother always says people should be able to take care of themselves even if they are rich and important. Being extremely honest with oneself is a good exercise. When the well's dry, you know the worth of water. In dealing with those who are undergoing great suffering, if you feel burnout, if you feel demoralized or exhausted, it is best for the sake of everyone to withdraw and restore yourself. The point is to have long-term perspective. Happiness is when you think, what you say and what you do are in harmony. Love yourself first and everything else falls in line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in the world. Allow yourself to enjoy each happy moment of your life. Beauty is how you feel inside and it reflects in your eyes. It is not something physical. The only person who can pull me down is myself. I'm not going to let myself put me down anymore. Our bodies are our gardens, to which our wills are gardener. Don't sacrifice yourself too much, because if you sacrifice too much, there is nothing else you can give and nobody will care for you. Those who think they have not time for bodily exercise will sooner or later have to find time for illness. Nourishing yourself in a way that helps you blossom in the direction you want to go is attainable, and you are worth the effort. Our grand business is not to see what lies dimly at a distance, but to do what lies clearly at hand. Aha! Oh my God, I love them all. So pretty. Amazing, right? Confucius. Nice. If I'm walking with 2 other men, each of them serve me as a teacher, I will pick out the good points of the one and imitate them, and bad points of the other and correct them in myself. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Wisdom, compassion, and courage are the 3 universally recognized moral qualities of man. To practice 5 things under all circumstances constitutes perfect value. These 5 are gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. You cannot open up without learning something. To see the right and not to do it is cowardice. When anger rises, think of the consequences. If you think in terms of years, plant a seed. If in terms of 10 years, plant trees. If in terms of 100 years, teach the people. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. The superior man is modest in his speech but exceeds in his actions. The firm, the enduring, the simple, and the modest are near to virtue. There are 3 methods of gaining wisdom. First is reflection, which is highest. Second is limitation, which is easiest. The third, experience, which is the bitter rest. Experience is bitter rest. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Our greatest glory is not never falling, but in rising every time we fall. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. He who knows all the answers has not been asked all the questions. Forget injuries. Never forget kindness. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. The man who says he can and the man who says he cannot are both correct. Wow, wow, wow. Forgiveness. Anger makes you smaller, while forgiveness forces you to grow beyond what you were. When you hold resentment towards others, you are bound to that person or condition in an emotional link that is stronger than steel. Forgiveness is the only way to dissolve that ink and get free. One of the keys to happiness is a bad memory. The key can never forgive. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Life is an adventure in forgiveness. True forgiveness is when you can say thank you for that experience. You will know that forgiveness has begun when you recall who hurt you and feel the power to wish them back. Forgiveness is almost a selfish act because of its immense benefits to the one who forgives. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover the prisoner was you. Without forgiveness, there's no virtue. Forgiveness is choosing to love. It is the first skill of self-giving love. I have learned that sometimes sorry is not enough. Sometimes you actually have to change. It takes a strong person to say sorry and an even stronger person to forgive. To forgive is the highest, most beautiful form of love. In return, you will receive untold peace and happiness. True forgiveness is not an action after the fact. It is attitude with which you enter each moment. Love is an act of endless forgiveness and to a tender look, which becomes a habit. He who is devoid of the power to forgiveness is devoid of the power to love. Practice of forgiveness is the most important contribution to the healing of the world. To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. Responsibility. Responsibility. Dun 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 dun, la 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 la. We are having such a great time, no? I love it. Where is the responsibility? Mindful day. Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. In today's rush, we all think too much, seek too much, want too much, and forget about the joy of just being. The most fundamental aggression to ourselves, the most fundamental harm we can do to ourselves is to remain ignorant by not having the courage and respect to look at ourselves honestly and gently. We use mindfulness to observe the way we cling to pleasant experiences or push unpleasant away. Feeling whether of compassion or irritation should be welcomed, recognized, and treated on an absolutely equal basis because both ourselves. Tangerine. The tangerine I'm eating is me. The mustard green I'm planting are me. I plant with all my heart and mind. I clean this teapot with a kind of attention I would have were I a giving body, Buddha or Jesus a bath. Nothing should be treated more carefully than anything else. In mindfulness, compassion, meditation, mustard green plant in the teapot are all sacred. Mindfulness is simply being aware of what is happening right now without wishing it for different, enjoying the present without holding it on to changes. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. There's no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. If it isn't good, let it die. If it doesn't die, make it good. The hatred never ceases by hatred, it only ceases by love. There is no enlightenment outside of daily life. Be happy in the moment, that's enough. Each moment is all we need, not more. Suffering usually relates to wanting things to be different from the way they are. You might be tempted to avoid the messiness of daily living for the tranquility of stillness and peacefulness. This, of course, would be an attachment to stillness, and like any strong attachment, it leads to delusion. It arrests development and short circuits the cultivation of wisdom. Mindfulness, also called the wise attention, helps us see what we are adding to our experience not only during meditation session but also everywhere elsewhere. If we learn to open our hearts, anyone including the people who drive us crazy can be our teacher. As soon as we wish to be happier, we are no longer happy. The habit of ignoring our present moment in favor of others yet to come leads directly to pervasive lack of awareness of the way of life in which we are embedded. This includes lack of awareness, understanding of our own mind and how it influences our perceptions. We are connected to each other and the world around us. Religion has traditionally been the domain of such fundamental inquiries with a spiritual framework, but mindfulness has little to do with religion except in the most fundamental meaning of the word is an attempt to appreciate the deep mystery of being alive and to acknowledge being vitally connected to all that exists. If the door of perceptions were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is infinite. Our suffering stems from ignorance. We react because we do not know we are doing, because we do not know the reality of ourselves. The mind spends most of the time lost in fantasies and illusions, reliving the pleasant and unpleasant experiences and anticipating the future with eagerness or fear. While lost in such cravings or aversions, we are unaware of what is happening now, what we are doing now. Yet surely this moment now is the most important for us. We cannot live in the past, it is gone. We cannot live in future, it is forever beyond our grasp. We can live only in the present. If we are unaware of our present actions, we are condemned to repeating the mistakes of the past, and we can never succeed in attaining our dreams for the future. But if we can develop the ability to be aware of the present moment, we can use the past as a guide for ordering our actions in the future so that we may attain our goal. La, so pretty. Self-discovery. Let's discover ourselves. And the day came when the risk to remain tight in the bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Wow, so nice. Love it all. Amazing. La 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 kindness. Inspire kindness. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. Words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world. A human being is a part of the whole called by us universe. A part limited in time and space, he experiences himself as thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of a prison for us, restricting us to our personal desire or to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our arctic circle of compassion to impress all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. No one was ever come poor by giving. It is easy enough to be friendly to one's friends, but to befriend the one who regards himself as an enemy is the acquaintance of true religion, and the other is mere business. Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, out of which have the potential to turn a life around. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Only the development of compassion and understanding for others can bring us the tranquility and happiness all we seek. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. I would rather make mistakes in kindness and compassion than work miracles in unkindful and hardness. The simplest acts of kindness are by far more powerful than 1,000 heads bowing in prayer. Compassion is not a relationship between the healer and his wounded. It's a relationship between equals. Only when we know our own darkness well can we present with the darkness of others. Compassion becomes real when we recognize the sheer humility. When we give cheerfully and accept gratefully, everyone is blessed. If a person seems wicked, do not cast him away. Awaken within him your words, elevate him with your deeds, repay his injury with your kindness. Do not cast him away, cast away the wickedness. Never look down on anybody unless you are helping him up. You cannot do a kindness too soon, for you never know how soon it will be too late. Beginning today, treat everyone you meet as if they were going to be dead by midnight. Extend to them all the care, kindness, and understanding you can muster, and do it with no thought of any reward. Your life will never be the same again. The purpose of life is not to be happy, to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived well. Aha, pretty. All right, enough. Oh my God, so pretty. Nice, nice, nice. God bless us. Please, please go on. I want to become the audio reader, and make a difference for the blind, the deaf, and people. Also, show everyone the joy, the enthusiasm that I feel, and such great, great books we read, especially the Sindhi books. Oh my God. I mean, the classics. Love it all. It's so beautiful when you share and you care and you give and you great and you enjoy it. Oh my God. Let's do the Vaheguru Jabo. And the Vaheguru will bless us. Absolutely wonderfully, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Vaheguru, 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 I love to read proverbs, right? I was thinking the next time anybody wants to know any proverb, instead of going to Google, they'll just go into Binome Education. Wouldn't that be awesome? Great. Keep it up.